up? So today I'm going to show you a few useful string methods you may be interested in as a beginner using Java. In this demonstration, let's create a variable of name. The data type is going to be a string. Type in your full name, including a space. I'll just use my YouTube channel name. If at any time you need the length of a string, you can use the length method. I'll store that as an integer. Int length equals, to access these string methods, you need a string, or a variable that is a string, dot. Then we have one of a few methods. If you need the length, you can use the length method. And then let's print it. Print the length. How many characters are in the string? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This could be useful. Let's say somebody is setting a password and you have a maximum size of 12 characters. Well, you can check the length to see if it's under 12 characters. So that is the length method. There's char at. That will give you the character at a specified index. We'll be given a single character. We'll store that as a variable. Char letter equals, take our string of name, use the char at method. Within the char at method, we'll list an index. 0 is the index of the first character, because computers like to start at 0. What is the character at index 0? Well, that letter is B. At index 1, that would be R, and 2 would be O. That is the char at method. It returns a character at a given index within a string. We also have the capability of finding a letter at a given index. Let's say we have a variable of index. Take our name, use the index of method, find the first occurrence of an O. So in my example, that should be 2. 0, 1, 2. That is the first index of this character, O. What about a space? Well, that would be 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. There's also last index. Last index equals, take our string of name, then use the last index of method. What is the last index of an O? Because index of gives you the first index. Last gives you, well, the last one. What is the last index of O? Where is it exactly? 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can take a string and make all the characters uppercase. I'll reassign that to our name variable. So we're going to take our name, use the to uppercase method, then print our name after reassigning it. Now all the letters are uppercase. There's also 2 lowercase. We'll replace upper with lower. And I should probably turn this into a comment. Now all the characters are lowercase. We can trim any white space before and after a string. Let's add a few spaces before and after. Then print the name. We can eliminate all this white space. We'll use the trim method for that. We'll reassign name equals name and use the trim method. Now all that white space is gone. We can replace a character with another one. Name equals name. We will replace one character with another. Let's replace any O's with A's. For your own name, feel free to change these. So, what is my name now? Brocade. There are methods that return Boolean values. To check to see if a string is empty, you can use the isEmpty method. This would return a Boolean. To demonstrate, I'm going to put this within a print statement. So, my string is not empty. That's false. But if it was, it would return true. But I have to turn these lines into comments. That would return true. My name is empty. This could be useful within an if statement. if name dot is empty method. If our name is empty, we will print your name is empty. Else we will print hello plus name. Currently, my name is empty. Your name is empty. This method returns true. But if it wasn't, it would return false. Hello, whatever your name is. I'll use a multi-line comment just to comment all this out. We can check to see if our string contains a character. That would return a Boolean. Let's check to see if our name contains any spaces. If that's true, your name contains a space. Else, we'll print your name doesn't contain any spaces. So my name does contain a space. That would return true. Your name contains a space. If we're working with, let's say, a username, usernames typically don't contain spaces. Your name doesn't contain any spaces. There is a method to check to see if two strings are equal. Again, I'm going to use a multi-line comment just to comment this out. If our name equals, using the equals method, we can check to see if two strings are equal, the given characters within them. Let's see if our name equals password. This actually would be more appropriate if we were working with a string named password. If our name, if the string of name, is equal to this string, if they have the same characters exactly, then we'll print your name can't be password. Else we will print hello plus name. I will set my name to be password. Your name can't be password. But if it wasn't, well then, this returns false. These two strings are not equal. And we execute the else statement. Hello, your name. Now, the equals method doesn't account for case sensitivity. So let's say our password has a capital P. Well then, this method returns false. Hello, password. To ignore case sensitivity, you can use equals ignore case. Then that would return true. Your name can't be password. Alright everybody, those are a few useful string methods you may be interested in as a beginner using Java. Alright everybody, in this video I'm going to explain how the substring method works in Java. Substring is a method that's used to extract a portion of a string. Strings have a built-in method of substring. Within the substring method, you can list one of two indices. This method will create a new string based on the positioning of the indices, the start and the end. I can best demonstrate this with us creating an email slicer program. So what we'll do in this demonstration is create a string of email. Type in your own email. I don't want to give you guys my actual email because some of you guys are weird, no offense. My email will be bro123@gmail.com. Our variable of email is a string. Strings have a built-in method of substring. We can create a new string from portions of the original string. Here's how. Let's say I would like the first 6 letters, but depending on your own email, it may be different. The substring method will return a new string. So let's create a new variable, the data type is string, of username. Equals, to create a substring, we will take the original string, use the substring method, then list one of two possible indexes, or indices. The first index will be 0. At what position would we like this substring to end? I would like to end right before this @ sign. So that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The second index is exclusive. So we're creating a new string of username by using the substring method of our original string of email. Then let's print it to test it. We will display our username. And now we have a new string. Mine is bro123, but depending on what you wrote for your email, it may be different. Now, I would like a new substring of every character after the @ sign. This will be a variable named domain. What is the domain of our email? Again, we're taking our original string, using the substring method, then list one of two possible indices. So again, let's count. This is index 0, because in programming we tend to start with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then we will display our domain. So my domain is gmail.com. Within your substring method, if you have a starting index, but you would like all the characters that come after all the way till the end, you don't necessarily need an ending index. We could just say 7. That would work too. gmail.com. There's one issue with how we wrote this program. What if somebody has a different length of an email? There's a greater or lesser number of characters. So let's say I have a different email. This program doesn't work as intended. It's not flexible. So my domain is 1@gmail.com. I could modify the indices of the substring method. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the domain would be 9, because I want everything after the @ sign. And then my username, let's check that. So this would be my username, brocode1. To make this program more flexible, instead of manually entering the indices, we can determine what this number should be with another string method. We're going to use the indexOf method in place of a number. We're going to find the @ character. Let's replace our second index with email, our string, dot, use the indexOf method. Then we will find the index of our @ character. We're going to replace this number with email.indexOf and find the @ sign. So now let's try printing our username. So here's my username. Then let's print the domain. Currently we have that @ sign. The indexOf method returns a number, which we're using as the index. It's returning the index of this @ sign. I'm going to increase it by 1, so we get everything after the @ sign. So +1. And now the @ sign is removed. Even better yet, let's accept some user input. We'll need a scanner. Import java.util.scanner. We'll create a scanner object. Scanner equals new scanner. Then we will need system.in. Then when we open a scanner, it is a good idea to close it when we're done with it. I sometimes forget. We'll create a prompt for a user to type in their email. Enter your email. I'll use print instead of print line. I'm going to declare my variables after our scanner. That's just how I like to arrange things. We'll declare our email, but not yet assign it. Same thing applies with our username and our domain. We've already declared these variables. We don't need to do that again. Instead of manually assigning our email, we're going to use our scanner to accept user input. Scanner.nextLine. Let's display our username and our domain. Okay, enter your email. I'll make up something. bro123@gmail.com. Here's my username and the domain. We can take this a step further too. we can check to see if our email is valid. We'll use some of the string methods we learned about in the last video. So after accepting our email, we're going to write an if statement. If our email contains the @ character, our email is only valid if we have this @ character. If it is, then we'll perform all this code. So let's cut it, then stick it within the if statement. Else we will do something else. Let's print emails must contain @. Let's type in an email that's not valid. I won't include the @ sign. Emails must contain the @ character. Let's try that again. Fake guy1 at, maybe they're using Yahoo, yahoo.com. So my username would be fakeguy1, the domain is yahoo.com. Alright everybody, so that is the substring method and how to create an email slicer program. The substring method is used to extract a portion of a string. You can list one of two possible indices within the substring method, a starting index and an ending index. We used the substring method on an email, then created two new substrings, one of username and the other of domain. And well everybody, that is the substring method in Java.